All right, what's up, guys? Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. All right, let's get into it. Let's get into it, guys. Okay. Uh, all right, what's the market got in store for us today? Let me know. Let me know in the chat. What are you looking at? What's on the radar? Maybe you're already in a trade. What do you got? Can you see? And then, drop a 1 in the chat if you hear me loud and clear. You can see the screen, all that good stuff. Okay, here we go. All right, so New York Open has already kicked off. We had to do a couple things before I could go live, so I was a little late, obviously. But we just saw Dow clear New York lows, work its way down. Maybe some of you traded this. We kind of got below all of this. The market worked its way up for a few minutes right before New York Open before, coming back down and rejecting this. So I could see some of you maybe taking buys here. Obviously, I just wasn't. I had a couple other things that I was doing. The other side of the coin here is NQ. Now, NQ has tried to break above this 1 hour high, and then it came up and right back down. Came up again, and I don't know. I just can't really get a read on how well structure is maintaining up here. Because every time it tries, it just drops back in. It comes up. And then price does trade here sideways for a little bit before it starts to work its way down. So I'm kind of back and forth on how well the market's moving here. But what we do know is that NQ and Dow are not really on the same page. Like right now, Dow is ripping, bullish, keeps pushing. NQ, not so much. More of the bear here. So, with that being said, is this pump to the upside here with New York Open for NQ? Is this move here enough to validate a sell out of this area? What do you guys think? Do we have enough momentum here? London highs or Tokyo highs get taken. So every time the market kind of tries to get up here, keeps losing that momentum. So this would be trading inside of the range. So I'm gonna place an alert here just so we're kind of in the loop with this. And then also let me know what the gap is on the lag on the stream. I heard yesterday it's pretty laggy. So I don't want that experience for you guys. Obviously, would prefer that you guys have a much better experience. So yeah, let me know. There's a couple things that I like though. So let's say the sells, I'm not certain of, but there is this last push down here that lures money in before the market really sells off. And it's nice to see it over here. So we had a lot of resistance over all of Tuesday's session, Wednesday's trading, and then we finally break out and end up taking out, honestly, a good week's worth of liquidity. So I actually, more than anything, I like the buy setup from down here. I wish I could know what the gap is here, like what the latency is. Okay. Wonder why it's such a big lag now. Interesting. That's unfortunate. Let's see what I can do here. All right. Well, hopefully I'll figure it out. Otherwise, I might have to just switch and figure something out with the streaming, because I'm streaming on OBS. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I'll figure it out. I really don't think there's too much that's needed though, like super fast paced price action. A lot of what we saw here yesterday came on the open. So Nvidia beat earnings. Market just started ripping, including gold and everything like that. So a really bullish market overall. So if we get below Tokyo lows and trading into this area, I like buys over here for NQ, like right in the zone. And so yeah, we could be looking for something over here, and then targeting at least, I would say, into this 1.5 R territory. I feel pretty good about that. But NQ is starting to really switch gears here. So we have that. There is this other push down as well. Maybe we trade into this. We'll see. But the market has just worked its way back up here. So New York Open rips to the upside, gets below here for the next 7, 8, 9 minutes or so. So now it's time to make a decision. Is this worth selling? So we see Dow has a very, very strong 1 minute candle drop here as it trades towards just this imbalance, this structure. So now Dow pushing over here, breaking the 5 minute structure. So a little, switch in direction over here. While NQ is sitting in this zone. I would say like structure here wasn't the best. It's not terrible. It's not the best. So sells do seem a little vulnerable here. Let me do a quick check. And I'm not going to have enough time. I don't know. I really have a lot of time here. So I don't even know if you guys are going to be able to take this. But as I'm looking at like S&P swept Tokyo lows and then immediately reversed. So this feels more like the push to the downside was more for liquidity sweeping purposes than it was for continuation purposes. So for example, S&P takes the low. Now it comes right back up. Honestly, right back down. Meanwhile, you have Dow that had this. This was Dow's open. Right? Good push down. And then the continuation. So I'm okay with staying out of the market here with indices for that NQ sell. I don't think this is what I want to do here. Price action was really brief. This looks more like a take of London lows, and then than anything else. So I'm okay with not taking this. I'm okay with that. Just because when the market came down here, we see a pretty decent amount of liquidity getting swept here, and then especially because we see Dow and S&P in particular. S&P takes out Tokyo low, works its way up here. This kind of looks like it could become a shakeout here for S&P, or maybe even a mitigation play. And then same thing if we look at Dow. Dow now has a big sweep of the low, taking out London, New York lows. This is like higher time frame wise. I mean, this finally swept a ton of money. And so it looks more likely to go to the upside over here. So I prefer looking for buys here, whether we're going to trade because of this push down over here. So whether it's Dow or it's going to be S&P with like a mitigation play. S&P just looks super clean. I actually wanted to take a trade here because of this. So this blast push down from yesterday. So here, check this out. We have so much resistance. It's moving sideways. And then here's like, yeah, here's where you get the last like enticement to the downside. And so we had around like 1 a.m. the market trades right into here. Just taps into where we have the beginning of this move down. So this looked like order block rejection. And so when price came down here with S&P, I was again kind of like, is it like, did it do it here or not? But it looks like either way, markets are starting to shift. Momentum here. Things are getting bullish over here. And all is good. So if I am going to look for a position here, let's see this. So this looks like it's gotten the job done. Now it'll come down to just what indices look like if they work their way back down to here. So are we going to start seeing more bullish momentum out of S&P, and S&P has, you know, the best buying structure? Is it going to be more about, let's say, Dow Jones? Dow Jones here originally was way more bullish. Now it's kind of settling in. So like, are we going to get good structure and pull back here? Or are we looking at NQ for buys? I didn't like NQ buys. I didn't love NQ buys over here. And good thing we didn't sell. But this push down right here, which created Tokyo lows. When the market came up to here, yes, we get above on the 5-minute. But since we failed here on Tokyo highs, like I didn't like this buy as much because the structure kind of sucked. So, yeah, that's where we're at here. So now, in my opinion, it's just a matter of letting price action unfold here. So clean move down, continuation. Is NQ going to stay bullish? We'll see. Looks like Dow is still kind of moving sideways. So Dow's structure still looks a bit better than NQ. NQ trades up above, cleans this, and then immediately, look at this thing is melting down. Meanwhile, Dow Jones is like, no, we're cool. Structure's cool, we're fine. And then S&P clears these highs and instantly works its way lower. So I wonder if we end up seeing, and this I'm more in the market of, I wonder if we end up working our way lower, taking out Tokyo lows here, trading into the order block that I've been waiting for, the NQ order block here. All the resistance, here's the push down, continuation, all that good stuff. So I wonder if we end up getting this to go down over here. So this is the classic break structure, trades into an order block that I'm more of a fan of. So I do like these kind of trades. And then honestly, I'm going to set a limit for now. All right, cool. And then, so I'll have a limit here. I had a small risk shakeout trade on gold going. Or not sure, is it a shakeout? I think so. But I got stopped and reduced. So here is MNQ. So let's see if we can break structure, trade over there. The other perspective here is possibly getting a Dow continuation. So Dow here. Dow's done a good job sweeping lows, starting to, it holds structure much better. So Dow traded up here for the last 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And then now it's slowly working its way into this zone. So how you want to approach this, or where you want to set your stop, I would say it's kind of your preference, because we do start to work our way down like in this zone. So it kind of depends on what you want to trade. Do you want to trade more so the big volume drop here, or the overall zone over here? So I think it kind of depends on, yeah, definitely on your preference there. But anyways, metals, quick little breakdown with metals. Metals just took out London low, so traded another notch lower here. I don't really have entries until we get way down here on gold. So gold setup is way over here. Meanwhile, silver is on new contracts. So as Seth mentioned to everybody, dropped a little post. We do have a nice continuation down here, nice little sweep liquidity continuation. So I think higher time frame on metals just looks clean. Seeing everything liquidate, trade down to these lows, that could set up this gold trade over here as well. So we'll kind of see what that looks like. But this drop here is from Thursday, August 20th. And so is gold. But gold is a lot further, way further down the line on all that. So might be a little bit different trading. You have silver. Where's this thing? Silver and gold over here. I think it just comes down to, what kind of looks better. Let's see here. Anyways, if we look at how price is moving still, Dow still not working its way down to here. It's actually holding structure more and more. So I think that's a good thing. Meanwhile, S&P, apparently was good enough. That structure was good enough to bounce out of the zone and at least get an initial movement, an initial reaction. Same thing with NQ. Question is this sustainable? I don't think so. So I think we probably keep going lower. I don't have confirmations to sell, but that would be my guess, is that price drops from over here. Now, while we wait, let's talk about some of the setups that played out yesterday. So we had the buy, right? So NQ's buy ended up playing out really well. The mitigation on the sell also ended up, giving the bare minimum here. So I actually didn't have an alert or something, or I missed it. But yeah, the market came into the zone we had marked up for yesterday's sell. If you guys were on it, I mean, this gave, I think, at least over a 1R, 1.5R. And then the market continued. The crazy trade, yesterday's trade was oil, dude. Oil, oh my God. Oil came like a tick away from getting stopped out, one. And then it was like, all right, cool. We'll take you to the promised land. Don't worry. And so I end up closing with props over here. And then it just carries over for the rest of the session, all the way down to here. So that was pretty nice. That was pretty cool. We got to survive this one. Anyone else take profit on oil, or at least get some profit on oil, or that NQ short yesterday? Took 2 trades on gold for a total of 10R. Dude's a monster. Nice, man. Just don't force any more trades. Don't force any trades. 10R on the day is more than enough. I probably wouldn't even trade anymore if I were you. If you're feeling the euphoria of the market, it's probably not worth it, to be fair. But yeah, and then actually yesterday I had a gold. I had gold mitigation, so I talked about this setup. I don't know if you guys ended up taking this, but we had that sweep. So I talked about buys over here, and so I ended up taking a buy down here on gold, and then gold didn't do shit until the open, and then it just ripped straight to TP. So gold's just been doing its thing, but it happened after the fact. You're in Q buys? Okay, sweet. Small one on oil. Very nice. But yeah, I mean, metals just have the continuation. Like, metals are still bearish. So at this point, just looking for shorts, continuing to look for the sells makes sense more than the buys, at least for risk reward purposes. Obviously, like, just selling down is currently a lot more profitable. So following that flow, makes a lot of sense. Catching some small moves on the way up when the confirmations are there, sweet. But obviously you need the confirmations to be there. Okay, so NQ still chopping its way. I definitely think it's more bearish than bullish today, but maybe it might take more time, right? It might go higher before it goes lower. So quick update. Crypto today had a good bounce. I saw Bitcoin bouncing really well. Vaughn, I saw you mark up Bitcoin. Did you end up getting your entry? Did it go low enough for you? Oh, I see why, guys. I see why the lag sucks. Hold on. Let me see if I can fix this real quick. Okay, I can fix this. Let me know if you can hear me. I can fix this. However, I don't know. It's going to probably restart the stream completely. So I'm going to try that. But yeah, let's see if we can get this going this way.